Staying healthy and comfortable starts with the air you breathe. If you're noticing more dust, odors, or allergies, it could be time for duct cleaning from Bryant. Pure Air starts with cleaner air ducts, pair with enhanced filtration and purifications options, and the difference is amazing. When the air you breathe is clean and fresh, your home smells fresher, and your family is healthier. Time for cleaner air in your home? Call Bryant for a free estimate. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Lincoln's new craft cocktail lounge is Bar 48 in Lincoln. Located at 2639 North 48th Street, Bar 48 offers everything from cocktails to beer to wine and so much more. With summer right around the corner, you can always enjoy Bar 48's frozen beverages. Follow them on Facebook to stay up to date on their live music performances every Saturday night. Make plans to visit Bar 48 on North 48th Street in the heart of the University Place neighborhood today.
A1 Automotive's second location is now open at 5110 State Hill Drive, just off of Yankee Hill Road. The new location continues to specialize in all makes and models and provides personalized service as they have for 15 years. To honor the new store opening, A1 is offering $25 off any service over $300, $50 off services over $500, and $75 off services that total over $750, all through July 31st. Schedule your appointment today at a1autolincoln.com and visit their new location in South Lincoln at 5110 State Hill Drive.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Is it time to replace your home comfort system? Call Bryant and save money in every way. Bryant provides you with solutions that save. Save big immediately with attractive rebates, and save every day with lower operating costs. Most important, though, the systems are selected to fit you. The right system, priced right, properly installed. That's the way Bryant works for you. How much can you save? Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing for a free estimate. 467-1111. Bryant, whatever it takes.
The weekend is here and you and the boys need a place to hang out after your day on the golf course. Lucky for you, that place exists at Liquid Assets Sports Bar and Grill in South Lincoln. The 19th hole at the course is great, but it doesn't have 30 TVs showing all sports with 23 beers on tap. You can enjoy all of that at Liquid Assets, as well as delicious smash burgers, wings, and much more. Don't end your hangout after the golf round ends. Get to Liquid Assets Sports Bar and Grill at 2755 Jamie Lane.
This is On the Block with Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland. Nebraska Football Hall of Famer, Jay Foreman. Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. This is On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Welcome in a Thirsty Thursday edition of the show. Austin and Strick with you here for today. Brought to you by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese, special ingredient butcher shop. 3 Lincoln locations and 1 up in Omaha for you to check out. Get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town. We are on stream only for a little while longer as the Kansas City Royals are continuing to polish off their turd of a homestand as they still trail the Tampa Bay Rays. They have 1 hit at last check. It was a double by the first batter of the game for them, Jonathan India. And indeed, the Royals still trail 4-0 into the top of the 8th. So after that, we'll be back on radio, certainly in time for Thirsty Thursday and more. But while we're here on stream, we got plenty to get into. We'll talk some NBA draft. We will talk some Big Ten football. And then we will hear from Nebraska head basketball coach Fred Hoiberg. A lot of interesting stuff from him. Got the audio cut up. Definitely want to dive into some Husker hoops. 402-464-5685. you got anything on your mind, please let us know on our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line or by dropping a comment on any of our streams. D-Strick, what's up? How we doing?
You know, there's this meme out there. It is what it is. That's the best way that I could sum it all up, man. The rain came and dropped it like it's hot. It's schizophrenic. It doesn't know what it wants to do today, but it's Thirsty Thursday, so it is a good day. Looking forward to seeing Uncle Kevy in the building.
Uncle Kevy's taking swings tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
He's going to come down and swing something.
Bring the wife, too, I believe.
Well, there's some things that we're going to be able to swing today, so stay tuned for that as well. We may try to wait until we get back on the radio to do so. We got something to give away as
we do.
July 4th slowly approaches. It is, well, slowly.
Quickly approaches.
Yeah, we're dang near halfway through the year already, and it's quite amazing how fast time flies. That is no longer a cliche word. I think, we all can attest that time's flying.
Hey.
You know what I mean? 2025 is halfway through. We're looking at 2026 peeking around the corner. Whew. It'll be here before you know it.
We are halfway through the NBA draft, Stricky. Round 1 complete last night. Round 2 will take place tonight. No Bryce Williams yet. Might talk about that a little bit later in the show. But also no Ryan Kalkbrenner. Not sad to see him get passed by Yannick Conan Niederhauser. Again, I'll stop maybe being a jerk about that. But Strick, in terms of NBA draft winners and losers, I think a couple things come to mind first and foremost for me. 9 of the top 10 picks in this year's NBA draft were one and done American college freshmen. Now, you look at like an Igor Demine from Russia being an international guy, and Maluwatch being an international guy. But still, I think this was a great sign for American colleges. They had a bumper crop of young talent this year, and pretty much all the guys that were taken in the top 10 played themselves up. Didn't necessarily play themselves down very far. Maybe the faller was Ace Bailey, but even still going top 5, I think that's pretty good. So I think first and foremost, my biggest winner of night 1 of the NBA draft ended up being, American college basketball.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to see. But a lot of that comes from the fact that there's been a shift. And not that it's an international shift. I mean, they went through that wave where everybody was highly focused on getting international players at that time. But because of the shift of the game, the one and done necessity, and even I think if you play internationally, you have to be a certain age or played. You
got to be 18 to enter the draft.
So it's similar in that method. But I think, especially with last year, there's been a lot of hesitation as far as jumping out there and betting on the international market at the top level. So I think you'll still see some. But I think a lot of what you're seeing as well now with the G League and the importance of not missing with tiers. You don't have as much runway as you had in the past. So due to that fact, I think a lot of it now is predicated on, let us see you. Let us see you with the level. I don't think that at this point there's an anomaly like a Wemby, like a Luka, where at 15, 16, they're literally dominating European play. That's something maybe is where you can kind of look a little bit differently at the matter. But I think they want to get them over here, man, and get them enrolled, let them mature, get to understand the culture a little bit, because that can be a shift for you, in your mentals and the way that you can play, the city that you end up, what type of support that you had. Like back in the day, guys like Dirk had great support from, he had Holger come over with him, which was his shooting coach. So, yeah, so that's kind of the way that I look at it. Is it's good for basketball, but for American basketball, but I know also we're definitely going to talk about the Ace Bailey situation.
Let's get into it right now,
So-
Stricky. He was one of 8 Big Ten players taken in the first round. That's a new record for the conference. Illinois had 2 first-round picks for the first time since their legendary year in 2005. Rutgers was the other school with multiple first-round picks from the Big Ten yesterday. Ace Bailey did not go number 3 to Philly. He did not go number 4 to Charlotte. He ends up going number 5 to Utah. Did not look all that happy about it backstage. Your reaction to Ace Bailey in Utah?
Well, see, I think this is another shift. I think we saw it again in football. Obviously, the collusion stuff we discussed. So if you missed that, get back on there and check that show out from yesterday. But I think there is a move to shift back the controls.
To the teams.
Yeah, more, or at least balance it out a little bit. You know, not allowing people to dictate. There's been people that have tried it. Obviously, your Caleb Williams tried it. Big Baller Brand LaMelo tried it.
Lonzo.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lonzo, and they try to position themselves to go to specific places, and we've even seen that it hasn't fully worked in the trade market from superstars that have put in their time and their work to go where maybe they wanted to go. They'll throw it out there. I think Giannis may end up going to at least a place to where, because I think also he has some form of a clause, so certain players like that have these certain clauses can kind of dictate, or they would have to agree to it. But I think with that shift, and you also got the diabolical Danny Ainge.
Dealer Danny.
Listen, Danny Ainge comes from that era, that era where I don't give a flying deep what you think, how you feel about it. This is a business. We're going to take you and, come over here and cry about it, because all you're going to do is James Harden yourself. Sure. When he came in looking like a roly-poly and,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just you're gonna put yourself in a bad light and not be able to do what your initial plan was, and that's to put yourself in a position to, you're going to be able to do that. They need what you do.
Mm-hmm. Desperately.
Like, they do. They need a bona fide bucket getter. Mm-hmm. So you're going to get your chance. But if you go in there with the wrong mentality and the wrong attitude, and that's the one thing that I spoke about with regard to him yesterday, is we're going to see what his mentals are.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be the glitz and glamour.
Right.
Utah is a play, but if you approach it with the right mentality, it is a place to where you can go and put in your work, i.e. Donovan Mitchell, i.e. What's my guy that came from Illinois?
Darren Williams.
Darren Williams. It's a place for you.
Mm-hmm.
Howard Isley rose his name and put himself in a good position to have a good career. Jock Vaughn, there's guys that can actually, if you go there with the right mentality and focus, it's one of the things also, like for even myself, where I had options to, I think it was 3 places to where I could go at the time. It was Seattle was one, and Miami was the other, and the last one was Milwaukee. And Milwaukee was the best place for me. You know what I mean? Because it allows me to stay focused on what I was there for. So, I'm hoping that his mindset is right.
And I wonder how much of that was Ace Bailey's true reaction, how much of that was his people around him and their reaction, because Ace Bailey didn't work out for anybody, did not attend a private workout for any of the teams, but Austin Ainge is the one that actually made the official draft pick, Danny's progeny, when you look at it that way. So I think it's a great basketball spot for Ace Bailey. And again, this is a kid that doesn't have character concerns. It's more, he's just young. He needs to grow up. And who is he surrounding himself with? I could see his circle saying, no, not Utah, anywhere but Utah. It's boring. It's not our culture. And sure, you got to be a fit, right? I mean, we've talked about that a million times on this program and others. But if Ace Bailey really bears down, it focuses on the basketball. I like Utah a lot more for him than I do for the second guy the Jazz are going to end up getting in the first round, and that's Walter Clayton Jr. helped lead Florida to the national title. But Walter Clayton, and I was looking at potentially going to Washington alongside another rookie in Trey Johnson out of Texas. I really like Washington for Trey Johnson with Jordan Poole's shots out the door, chance to get mentored by CJ McCollum, Chris Middleton. I think that'll be really fun for Trey Johnson. But Walter Clayton is now stuck in a backcourt with Jordan Clarkson, who's gotten his fair share of shots, right? That's a veteran guy that Utah's liked for the last few years. Isaiah Collier, recent first-round pick, more of a ball handler. Keontae George, really recent pick, is on that team as well. And then Colin Sexton, who might be on his way out. Walter Clayton's the fifth guard there right now. He's pretty pigeonholed at 6'2", not a huge guy, and he has some defensive questions. I like Walter Clayton, the player. I don't necessarily love the fit for him there. The flip side of that, Strick, is we talked about San Antonio. I think they did really well. Dylan Harper, the no-brainer, number 2. But Carter Bryant at number 14, that's a guy I was really high on throughout the draft process. I think that's a steal, a very low usage, 37+% three-point shooter at Arizona, versatile defender with legitimate wing size. He's not a 6'4", 6'5" guy. He's 6'6" to 6'8" in that range. I think San Antonio got a steal with Carter Bryant, the exact type of piece that they want to put around Victor Wembanyama. I do want to play this for you from Brian Windhorst when he was on ESPN reacting to the draft. We talked yesterday about Brooklyn. 5 first-round picks, 4 of their own and 1 in a trade that they received from the Atlanta Hawks. Here's what Brian Windhorst is being told or is hearing from across the league as it relates to the draft from the Brooklyn Nets.
There's no way they can, again, field 5 rookies.
You want to bet?
Sure, yeah, why not?
Yeah. No.
I got some people telling me some things about Brooklyn. People are making fun of these drafters.
Oh, boy.
I got people saying to me, executives and agents, they're like, and I was watching them play 3 two-way guys during this year so that they could clap for taking the guys in the 2020s. Wow. He's like, these two-way guys might be just as good as the guys that they're taking. I don't know anything about it. I'm just saying what people are saying.
Hey, you take 5 shots, one of them got to go right with you.
We're not.
People around the league are texting Brian Windhorst and laughing about what the Nets are doing. Not packaging any of their picks. Their first 2 picks were pass-first point guards who can't shoot with an international background. Their third pick that they'll end up getting is Drake Powell, who's maybe the best wing defender in the class, but questions about the offensive game and the jump shot. Ben Seraph, a guard out of Israel, who, did you hear his comparison from the broadcast?
No,
Drake?
I did not.
Someone on the broadcast, I think it was John Givney, compared Ben Seraph. He called him the Israeli D'Angelo Russell. That's what he put on that young man. And then they draft Danny Wolf, kind of point forward out of Michigan. Brooklyn kept all 5 of those picks, and very few of these guys were in very many, top half of the lotteries. These were like back half of the first round to early second round guys that Brooklyn took every single one of them in the first round. There's that comment at the end there, well, you take 5 swings, one of them has to hit. I don't know. You're hoping that obviously more of them will hit. But the other instructive part of this was why tanking isn't as effective in the modern NBA. Brooklyn tore it down to the studs this year in a hope that they could get Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, maybe Edgecombe, Ace Bailey in that top 4, top 5 range. It didn't work. And then Brooklyn had no coherent plan after that.
None. And it's unbelievable because you don't really have, to me, a bona fide big man.
No,
so
you don't.
So the people that you had on the board still was Malawak, and you also had
Sorber was there, Queen was there,
and also Bryant,
Newell, Carter Bryant.
I mean, those that type of talent with the versatility options. Obviously a good guy on the inside, a lob threat out of Malawak. Great place for him because he doesn't necessarily have to go in now and be a force immediately. He's got some time he can wait, being that they brought in another center from Williams from Charlotte. So that's to cover them. Actually, that's actually a pretty good move. I'm actually surprised that Phoenix made that kind of move because Williams has tremendous upside. Has a looming injury situation hanging over his head, but then you get Malawak that doesn't force him or thrust him into the limelight too quickly.
Right.
So I like that for him. Very similar. Again, San Antonio. Carter Bryant's a great fit for San Antonio with his ability, versatility, stretch, can put it on the ground, 1 or 2 dribbles, good body, goes up and gets it, So yeah, there's something there. I think that's also a good place for Queen, but Brooklyn is a debacle to me. How do you not make that work? But I guarantee you OKC would have made that work.
Guaranteed.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's crazy.
You mentioned Derek Queen. He ends up getting drafted number 13 overall by the New Orleans Pelicans, who also took Jeremiah Fears at number 7. Like both of those players, don't love both of those players for New Orleans. But Strick, what has most of the headlines for the Pelicans right now is what they did to get Derek Queen. They traded up from 23 to 13 this year to get Derek Queen. To do that, obviously they gave up 23, which is where they were, and an unprotected first-round pick next year.
That's a stretch.
Okay,
Super stretch.
So here's why it's part of the stretch. Atlanta, who received that unprotected first-round pick, will get the better of the 2 picks between New Orleans and Milwaukee. New Orleans, kind of a dumpster fire right now. Haven't been good in a while. Breaking in, DeJounte Murray and Jordan Poole. That could be a top 10 pick. Milwaukee, no Dame. And who knows what's going to happen with Giannis.
That
could be
it's a good one.
A lottery pick that you gave to Atlanta for free to move up 10 spots in this draft for a prospect that I like in Derek Queen, but is pretty far from a surefire thing.
That's a fact. You're banking on his upside, Austin, tremendously. Again, this is the second time you've done that now. You banked on Zion, and this was an overstretch. I don't even think you had to go up that far to get him. I think you could have worked with somebody just, outside the lottery. I'm pretty sure OKC would have dealt with you, or you could have waited a couple more spots, but somebody might have taken him. But nonetheless, here's the thing. I think it's a stretch, super stretch to go up that quick to that far to get Queen and to give up what you're going to give up. Because that pick could look very good for them. And shout out for them, because I think they got a pretty good player back there as well at Asanoa. Didn't have to stretch to get him.
He's one of them that they wanted at 13.
Yeah.
It's all roses for Atlanta in that deal.
Don't have to pay him.
Not a thing.
Yeah. So shout out to them, because I thought they did. I thought they were one of the ones that actually got a win from this whole thing. But golly, Brooklyn, way to bumble it. I mean, look, to get Danny Wolf at 27, it's a flyer. You're throwing a bunch of paper planes in the air, hoping that you catch some wind and it goes further than just from me to you.
Right. Are you good at building paper airplanes?
I've played with them some, man. I've done some, real intricate ones with little wings. That was something we used to do back in high school. We used to have. Well, what are the games you used to play in high school?
Is your dad good at paper airplanes with his Air Force background?
No, Pops wasn't that. But we had so many fun games because we used to play the pencil fight game.
The pencil fight game?
Yeah, see, I knew you didn't know nothing about that.
Like jousting with pencils? Or
no.
What are we doing?
So we would always go and buy number 2 pencils, and sometimes we'd go try to get them,
the yellow ones?
Them sturdy ones, and we would bend them and try to break the pencils. It was pencil fighting. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. You instead of boxing, we was pencil fighting, trying to, break the pencil in the one hitter quitter.
Bo Jackson style.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So we had some fun games. Yeah, we did that, paper planes, and we did what's the one where we threw pitching coins? So we would bet.
Last Dance style?
We would bet, yes.
Yeah.
we would bet. We would be in the commons area, and you would try to get closest to whatever, either the wall or the stairs or whatever, and that was a little way to make a little change. Strange things for some change.
How much change does Stricky make?
Stricky,
Did
Stricky
you come out positive?
Stricky had a nice little touch. Yeah, I'm on the positive side of the strange for change game.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
The only thing I remember kind of to that magnitude from my middle school days was Call of Duty Black Ops. The original one came out when I was in 7th grade.
Now, this was before they really started playing with people. It was kind of still...
No, this was still multiplayer.
It was still multiplayer? Okay.
Yeah. You had COD 4 a couple of years before that. Modern Warfare 2 was the big one that a lot of people look back on fondly. And then Black Ops, I think, is still pretty highly regarded in the Call of Duty community. But one of the big things in that game was the Tomahawk. And so we would take markers, and then whoever could hit someone across the room from the furthest. You had to yell Tomahawk, right? Remember, like, you shoot the paper into the trash can, you yell Kobe?
Yeah.
You had to yell Tomahawk as you threw it across the room.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of games we played too that you really, if you thought about it today, you need a pause.
Fair.
There was some games out there you probably needed a pause. Eric, if you're listening.
Let's go ahead and take our first break of the show. When we get back, CBS Sports has the best and worst case scenario for every Big Ten football team. What do they say about Nebraska and some other interesting teams in the conference? We'll get into that and more before we hear from Fred Hoiberg in hour 2 of the show right after this.
Now's the best time to lock in early order savings on a new John Deere planter from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Plant for success with the latest technology, including Exact Emerge high-speed planters that help you cover more acres with greater precision and productivity. Order your planter for next year now to unlock the biggest savings of the season. Contact your local Landmark location today and experience the Landmark difference.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Have you been injured in an accident and don't know where to turn? You need an attorney you can trust to handle your case with professionalism and compassion. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group understand that a call to an attorney is a call for help. If you've been injured, we want to help you. Liberty Law's experienced attorneys are committed to the pursuit of justice for those injured. Call Liberty Law Group and find out how we can help get you the compensation you deserve. Call 877-42-LIBERTY. 877-42-LIBERTY. Liberty Law Group. Trial attorneys you can trust.
Safety is always at the top of mind at Lincoln Electric System. The safety of our employees and the safety of our customers. It's National Safety Month. Visit les.com/safety for tips on all things related to electrical safety. If you're working in your yard, remember never to place landscaping, structures, and fences too close to above-ground electrical equipment. It's unsafe and could cost you financially. Visit les.com for a complete fence and landscaping installation guide.
Are you looking to upgrade or improve the garage door on your home? This is Cameron Hall of Doors Plus. At Doors Plus, we guarantee to offer a wide selection of options from 5 leading garage door manufacturers as we deliver a free estimate, exact measurements, and rapid installation with a 3 to 5 week time frame. When you choose Doors Plus for your residential garage door needs, you'll work with our experienced technicians and be ensured that your new door seamlessly complements your home. Give us a call at 402-590-5800 or visit us online at DoorsPlusLLC.com. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Fairway has fresh cut meats, seafood, cheese, wine, and spirits, and a friendly staff that's always ready to help you find what you need. Stop by Fairway Meat Market today to plan your weekly meals in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go big!
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT, from cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
Muchachos has been serving Lincoln delicious pork, brisket, and chicken tacos for several years now, as well as Hatchback nachos and more. Muchachos also brings you close to the taste buds of your favorite local college athletes with NIL deals like the B3 burrito for Bella Bacon of Nebraska softball and many more. See a variety of different NIL options at Muchachos at 11th and K or order online at yomuchacho.com. Open 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Welcome back in, rolling right along here during On the Block. Austin Orman and Eric Strickland with you. Changing gears from the NBA. Is that a pump fake you just did? I thought you pump faked. Okay, there we go. I see it now. Going from the NBA draft round 1 to some college football news and headlines. Interesting article from CBS Sports out here, Stricky. Do you want to start with Nebraska? Do you want to start with a different team in the Big Ten?
Different team.
Who's got your eye in the Big Ten? Who else you want to start with?
I think Illinois is potentially interesting. An interesting evaluation to start with.
Here's what CBS Sports has to say about the best case for Illinois. Best case is 11-1. For once, an Illini team with preseason hype lives up to it and even improves. Quarterback Luke Altmaier proves to be one of the best quarterbacks in the Big Ten and is at the helm of one of the most efficient offenses in the league. The defense continues to create havoc and turnovers. Let's stop there. Illinois beat South Carolina in the bowl game at the end of last year. Sneaky 10-game winner under Brett Bielema. But then, Strick, there's that two couple of words that falls on these programs that don't have a bunch of historical success. Preseason hype. Illinois brings about an average amount back. Having the quarterback is helpful. Lost one of their running backs in the portal to Georgia. Lost some guys off of the defense. Going to be really curious to see how Illinois handles that preseason hype because they look pretty solid. I think Brett Bielema has more than earned the benefit of the doubt as a college football head coach. It would just be kind of wild to see Indiana make the playoff one year just to be followed up by little old Illinois.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's when you have situations with a crazy amount of turnover like that, especially at key positions, having stability at the quarterback position is definitely a key, but then also what weapons were you able to either retain or go and get? And then becomes how quickly can they begin the gelling process? So that's the thing where a good coach like Bielema can be a benefit to you because there's culture that's built. And then I think it has a potential for a sustaining of that momentum. But there's going to be key games that the defense is definitely, I think, going to have to show up and create opportunities for them to be able to win those games closely. You know what I mean?
Which is how they thrived last year. And that's part of the worst case scenario that CBS Sports lays out. He says the losses at receiver lead to a significant drop in offensive production. That's headlined by Pat Bryant, now with the Denver Broncos. Injuries at key spots, perhaps even quarterback derailed the season as a team that thrived in close games last year doesn't produce the same results in those spots this year. Kind of the inverse of what we've seen from Nebraska. Similar lines then, Strick, I think Indiana. For Illinois, it was close games. For Indiana, it's transfer portal.
And schedule.
Yeah. It gets tougher for Indiana this year. We'll see. Do you think Kurt Cignetti is legit, or do you think this is Mel Tucker roster construction 2.0?
Well, that's the thing. He has to do the same type of thing. Let me give you. Let me give you this example. Right. There's some things that you love about particular restaurants, especially mom and pops, or some high level restaurants like, I'll just say it's nothing that's here. So that way I don't want nobody to think I'm advertising for them. But like a Eddie V's, right? Nice top end steakhouse. When you go there, there's a recipe of certain things and there's a consistency. You do that at mom and pops. Now, when you go corporate, you have all kinds of cook turnover. So some days it can be good, some days it can be bad. It depends on, the day that you hit and who's in the back type thing, right?
Sure.
And that's the inconsistency that can happen on a football team because of you're taking a bunch of ingredients and trying to put them together to make a consistency of the meal that would bear the similar taste of someone who is a regular in coming into that restaurant, right? That's what Cignetti is having to deal with. He found a recipe in the transfer. A lot of those transfers were transfers for that knew him, came with him, but he's also hit the lottery again. If you look at it with the eye test or on paper, but now it's who's cooking. What type of ingredients are being merged together? Is it going to create that consistency of wins that we've now got accustomed to last year? Or is it going to be the corporate meal that you go to and you don't know what you're going to get? That's kind of what it looks like for Indiana this year.
You know where what you're always going to get? The Mill.
That's a fact. Especially with, say, Luke over there. Listen, all I got to do is say, Luke, I need that. Luke knows. And it's consistent. Consistent.
Top to bottom. Definitely. Shout out our friends at The Mill here at 1040 O Street. Stricky, CBS Sports gives Michigan the best case scenario of 12-0 in the regular season. The worst case scenario, 7-5. Which of those do you think is more likely for Michigan?
Well, again, I've got to give them credit for handling adverse situations on last year.
Self-created, to be fair. But...
And the key is that looming over you? We know they're not worried about money or anything of that sort. I think when you look at it, it's going to depend on whether or not Bryce Underwood was a hit, a temporary miss with growth, or an inconsistent hit with youth, meaning he'll have highs and lows. Maybe in one big game he doesn't show up, in another big game he does. And so I can see them at worst falling in the middle of that. Maybe 3 losses, 4, not necessarily 5. But I think as long as he grasps it, he doesn't come in full of himself, not willing to really, delve into the culture of Michigan and be a real good leader for them, then that's probably where you could find them, somewhere in the middle. I don't see 12-0 though, not with that young leadership. You can just look at Tennessee and I can tell you why that probably won't happen. If it does, shout out to him. He might not be there too much longer unless he has a sophomore slump.
Michigan can still make the college football playoff as a 10-2 team, which I think would be a rousing success for first round more Bryce Underwood. How about Ohio State? Best case 12-0. It's Ohio State. Worst case 9-3. Interesting. Been a while since Ohio State's only won 9 games in a full 12-game season. Oregon has another pretty big spread here, according to CBS Sports Strike. Their best case 12-0, which we have seen them do before. But the worst case for them supposedly is 8-4. New starting quarterback, replacing both starting tackles and losing Evan Stewart. could potentially hold the Ducks back. Are you more concerned about the worst case scenario for an Oregon or for a Penn State, who CBS Sports says their worst case is 9-3?
I think the high and low of that for Penn State, I think Penn State would probably be worse if they came in at a 9-3 record. The reason is they're standing at the door. Behind that door, okay, there's a game, and if I can't pick the name out, I want to say it's Deal or No Deal. No, not Deal or No Deal. But there is a game, 402-464-5685. I know the blockheads are always ready to help me out. But there was a game that you had to dress up. You would dress up in all these different costumes, right? And they would have a curtain. And you would get to a point where you would bid on a specific curtain, and they would have a thing called a zonk behind the curtain, right? So the Penn State fans are standing in this game. If they bring it up, Austin, tell me the name of the game.
Okay.
But there was this game where you would dress in all these crazy costumes, and you would try to get the attention of the guy so that you could play the games. And you get to the end of it, you would pick a number 1 through 3, and sometimes behind it would be a zonk, and sometimes behind another one would be a car, or there would be something with a gift box where you could reach in there, and it might be money or it might be trash, right? And that's where they are. They're standing at their at this game, looking at the curtain, and they're just hoping that there's no zonk behind there, because they're ready to. They're in their mind's eye. Mm-hmm. They think they've crossed over the threshold, and they're ready to win the trip or the car. Mm-hmm. And they pick the number. They think they've got the right deal, and now all of a sudden they're just hoping that there's no zonk.
We will certainly see. Let's go ahead and take a break. We will hop back on live radio for you if you're listening on stream. We really appreciate you finding your way over to us. Let's give you what it is that CBS Sports has as the best case and the worst case scenario for Nebraska in 2025. Eastrick, Austin, it's on the block on 93.7 The Ticket.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, Eastrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
Are kids better off in an intact family? You bet they are. This is Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. Kids living in a household with married parents do better in school, they're emotionally healthier, they're more likely to stay out of trouble with the law. If you're in a troubled marriage, of course you should do everything you can to save your marriage, if only for your kids' sake. This includes considering alternatives to divorce. Of course, in some circumstances, divorce is unavoidable. In either case, if you're a man facing a crisis in your marriage, let us help you at Cordell & Cordell. Remember, we're the partner men can count on.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Contact the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln, Cordell & Cordell, 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska, 68508.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and the hail sale has been a huge success, but is winding down. We still, though, have several units with huge discounts. Plus, we have brand new Sierras, $14,000 off list, or starting at $37,105, or 0.9% APR on select new models. Yes, you heard right. $14,000 off or 0.9% APR on new Sierras starting at $37,105. So please check us out at cobblecars.com. All deals with roof credit. Stock number G289358.
When opportunity knocks, you don't want to miss the call. Hamilton Business Technologies makes communication easy and efficient using customized technology, all while putting people first. Whether you're working from the office, at home, or on the go, Hamilton Business Technologies equips your business with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through June 29th, get lumberjack pellets for $3.99 when you buy $25 in meat, and a 2-day sale this Friday and Saturday of USDA choice whole boneless ribeye for $13.99 per pound, as well as pork sausage for $1.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, partly sunny skies, an afternoon high around 88. Tonight, a few showers early, then mainly cloudy skies, a low around 67. And tomorrow, we'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day with light winds. It'll be hot with a high near 91. I'm meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket. TheTicketFM.com.
Play ball! Ready for summer fun and ballpark vibes? Bring your pack to Haymarket Park for a thrilling season of Lincoln Salt Dogs baseball and unleash the fun. From May through August, the Lincoln Salt Dogs will be playing and the park will be popping with all the food, drinks, and fun you need for the perfect night out. Grab your friends, family, and coworkers and make plans now. Visit saltdogs.com to secure your tickets. Come on out to the park and unleash the fun.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
We are wrapping up hour one of On the Block. You can see Stricky on stream. Kind of, sort of. We'll zoom out, give you a better view of him. But Stricky, first of all, we had 5 people chime in with the name of the show they believe you're thinking of. Is it Let's Make a Deal?
Let's make a deal. And that's what we've got today. We're going to make a deal with you. And I'm like the man version of Vanna White. Pause.
Van White?
Van White.
Van White?
Yeah, that part.
Stricky, please tell the people what it is you are holding.
We've got a hodgepodge of all the goodies because July 4th is coming up.
There's a big old title.
Yeah. Aerial Domination.
Aerial Domination.
Aerial Domination. It is worth 90 bones.
$90.
90 hot. 90 big moolah money.
What are some of the things that are going on in there? Any of the titles you can read?
Well, we've got a red dancing flowers. We've got Festival of Fire. You know, we've got a garden in the spring. We've got the Shogun of Harlem.
Ooh.
Not of Harlem, but it's an artillery shell here. A little bit of everything going on, and a lot of popping, a lot of locking going on, and you can get it right here live on the block.
A garden in spring, it appears.
Yeah, some little fuses.
Festival of something.
Yeah, be careful because you don't want to have little ones around these hot pockets. Aerial domination.
Shout out to our friends
Right
at
here.
Crazy Cracker Fireworks. If you want to win $90 worth of fireworks for free, you have to be the person with the correct answer to the question that we're going to ask Strick. You will go over, under, or push. Normal tiebreaker rules apply for this question. I'll ask Strick the question. You, who are the first one to respond correctly, over, under, or push, will win this $90 box of fireworks, courtesy of our friends at Crazy Cracker in downtown Roca. All right, Strick, here is the question. How, in NBA draft history, how many NBA draft lottery picks have been selected out of Duke?
Total?
Lottery picks out of Duke, NBA draft history.
History.
How many?
Going back to when?
Lottery era.
Duke. I'm going...
So the lottery dates back to 85.
85. Lottery.
How many NBA lottery draft picks have come out of Duke University?
I'm going to say 22.
Stricky says 22. Give us an over, an under, or a push. We are getting some responses rolling in, and it's Brian. Brian hits it with the over. 33 of them, Stricky. 33 of them.
Almost said 35.
Ooh.
Almost did.
It's Duke number 1 at 33, Kentucky number 2 at 30. Some pretty incredible stuff out of the NBA draft, too. John Calipari just had a personal 17-year first-round NBA draft pick streak snapped last night. 17 straight years producing a first-rounder, Stricky.
Out of Kentucky.
Well, for Calipari.
For Calipari.
Because he had
he
had Derrick
big
Rose
runs.
and Tyreek Evans at Memphis.
Yeah.
And then 15 years.
Yeah.
At Kentucky.
I mean, that's a huge streak, but again, changes.
Mm-hmm.
How do you adjust? How do you make deal with the changes? And once the model became a fallacy and a flaw, you just didn't see it anymore. You go after the big guns, so to speak, in your mind's eye.
You got some big guns you're holding right there.
We're definitely got that. Brian's gonna have it now. So
Indeed.
Shout out to Brian.
So, Brian, here's what we need you to do. Send us your first and your last name, maybe your email address as well. You're going to have to pick this up from Crazy Cracker in Roca. Crazy Cracker in downtown Roca is open. They just opened up yesterday. They'll be open through the 4th. So, Brian, hope you're still listening. Send us your first and last name and your email address. We'll get that to Scooter. Let him know that you are the winner of the Aerial Domination Box. $90 worth of fireworks that we just gave away. Got a couple minutes left here in this hour, Strick. So let's wrap up the conversation we were having. Best and worst case scenario. Let's start with the worst case for Nebraska. CBS Sports says the worst case scenario for Nebraska in 2025 is 5-7. Let's say the Huskers go 5-7. What's the fallout in Husker Nation?
Especially after the hype and the feel of Husker Nation, in that they believe they've got the guys, the players.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not a shortfall in skilled players. It's not a shortfall. Obviously, changes in the defense. Now they're going to have their full go at it between, both the Holgerson and
John Butler at DC.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Butler. So they're going to have a full go at it. They've had a full term to be able to get the type of guys that they feel fit the culture and what they're trying to build. And you've got a more mature Dylan Raiola.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're gonna hope that he's gonna be able to produce and get the job done.
The worst case write-up from CBS Sports says this: 5-7, Nebraska is not back. It turns out the 24 season was a bit of a fluke as the offense struggles because Dylan Raiola spends too much time watching Jackson Mahomes on TikTok and not enough time studying game film. A lack of explosive plays on offense and defense put the Huskers in too many difficult spots. And it all ends with something we've seen a million times before, or far too many times here in Lincoln: a home loss to Iowa on Black Friday to keep the team from going to a bowl game. Here's this. The worst case then involves Dylan Raiola entering the transfer portal and Matt Rule entering 2026 on the hot seat if Nebraska were to go 5-7. let's go ahead and stick a pin right there. We'll give you the best case scenario over some cold drinks from Kevin Meyer with Meyer's Cork and Bottle. Really appreciate everyone who's been watching the show on stream. We are back live on radio, taking your thoughts all show long. We're headed to break, bringing in Kevin Meyer for Thirsty Thursday right after this.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans, begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, partly sunny skies. The national high around 88. Tonight, a few showers early, then mainly cloudy skies. A low around 67. And tomorrow, we'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day with light winds. It'll be hot with a high near 91. I'm meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket. theticketfm.com.
Don't wait for Lincoln's fireworks stands to open up. Get the good stuff at Roca Crazy Cracker in downtown Roca. Stop in from June 25th through July 4th for the hot spot for rockets and more this Independence Day. Open 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day. It's Roca Crazy Cracker Fireworks in downtown Roca.
Are kids better off in an intact family? You bet they are. This is Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. Kids living in a household with married parents do better in school, they're emotionally healthier, and they're more likely to stay out of trouble with the law. If you're in a troubled marriage, of course you should do everything you can to save your marriage, if only for your kids' sake. This includes considering alternatives to divorce. Of course, in some circumstances, divorce is unavoidable. In either case, if you're a man facing a crisis in your marriage, let us help you at Cordell & Cordell. Remember, we're the partner men can count on.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Contact the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln, Cordell & Cordell, 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska, 68508.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
When opportunity knocks, you don't want to miss the call. Hamilton Business Technologies makes communication easy and efficient using customized technology, all while putting people first. Whether you're working from the office, at home, or on the go, Hamilton Business Technologies equips your business with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
Hey guys, you have heard about the Farrell's 10-week challenge for years on the ticket. If you still haven't joined us for this amazing challenge, what are you waiting for? You could be our next $1,000 winner like Derek, who just lost 30 pounds, 23 inches, and 8% body fat. Derek changed his life in the 10-week challenge, and so can you. Farrell's combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching to get you the results you have been waiting for. Join us July 12th for the Summer 10-Week Challenge. Go to fxblincoln.com to enroll today.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Why wait until Friday to start your weekend?
Go ahead, start right now.
You're thirsty now, and 93.7 The Ticket is here to help you stock up.
Just in time for the weekend when I like to hit the clubs.
Time to broaden your horizons and try some new wine and beer. It's Thirsty Thursday with Kevin Meyer from Meyer's Cork and Bottle.
Oh,
clean. Solid 8. Solid 8.
Clean pop.
Oh, yeah.
Clicky for Stricky.
You got a pop pop?
That was a clicky.
And we got a fizz fizz.
And a clicky.
Jake
Jakester?
Sorensen chiming in? Oh,
You gonna join us?
Alas. Your fireworks box is over there, by the way. So we do have extra if you'd like, Jake.
I've got 4 glasses here, buddy.
All right. He's coming back in.
All right.
Cool. Kevin, welcome in. How are you?
Gentlemen, I'm doing well. How are you guys?
We're great.
Great, man.
Better now, of course. Since
We
you're
are.
here.
You know, Thursday starts the weekend. At least
Indeed.
in my house, it does.
I don't hate the concept and the theory. We hear rumor, Kevin, that you are signed up to meet us out at Haymarket Park and down on Hawks Field tomorrow. Can you confirm?
I can confirm. My boy Jake next to me got me the hookup for BP with DP, and I am.
Thank you, sir.
I'm super excited and a little low key nervous. I haven't swung a bat since I was helping my son get ready for high school tryouts. He's almost 25 years old now. So prior to that, it was just, me helping him, just mostly hitting infield, not really actually swinging a bat, so.
Did your expertise help him make the high school team?
Well, I can't say that my expertise helped him, but he did make the high school team. So
your expertise helped.
Well, I suppose I did what I
Take
could.
some credit, Kevin.
My
Come
father,
on.
Seriously.
I did my fatherly duties. We played a ton of catch. I threw him a ton of BP. I hit him infield and did what my limited scope could do, and he did the rest.
Just don't whiff.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
gonna
a little
happen.
worried about that.
It's going to happen. Just accept that it's going to happen.
You know, I did batting practice with Strick a year or two ago, and Steve Taylor was also there, and these guys were just absolutely blowing. I was whiffing, and Strick and Steve were hitting to the wall. I'm like, this is embarrassing. I'm gonna stick to golf, I think. But Kev, you'll be great.
It's humbling. I think what
I
I'll
was
do,
humbled.
I'm going to start smooth. Just
Yeah,
try
yeah.
to put some contact on
Yep.
it. Once I get my timing down, then maybe I'll grip it a little tighter and see what happens.
You're going to square to bunt just so you can get the visual a couple
No,
times?
no,
You're not doing that?
We're taking BP. We're not taking butt practice.
Well, they both start with B, Kevin.
They do.
Kevin,
But
your
we're
wife's
talking-
gonna bat too, right?
Yeah, she said she might take a couple of cuts.
Shoot.
A date.
Yeah.
They're making a date out of it. I love
Yeah,
it.
I love that.
We're gonna come down, take some cuts, and then maybe go find a place in the Haymarket, have a couple drinks, maybe a bite to eat, and call it a date.
Well, let's
There
get
it
into
is.
BP today, and by that I mean beer partaking.
Hey.
What we got here?
This is kind of fun. This is Ommegang Brewery, which is
It smells good.
it's actually originates in Belgium, but they have a U.S. Sister brewery. And this is an oak-aged watermelon Kolsch. And what a Kolsch is a German-style beer. That's a German-style lager.
Oh my gosh.
And then this is oak-aged, but it also has fresh watermelon in it.
Yeah.
And
I
so
like that.
we're kind of
yeah.
in beat the heat mode right now in summertime. And so I thought it would be appropriate.
Ricky, what do you like about it?
It's a patio pounder for sure. This is one of those ones where Shaky Jakey, if
I
he's
like
out on the
that.
golf course,
Oh yeah.
he would start off birdie, par, and by the time he's pounded or 2 or 3 of those,
Here comes some bogeys.
yeah,
but-
bogeys. The bogey train starts.
But I had the birdies though to start.
You got it started.
There is a window, and it's a tight window. But if you can find it, and the key is staying in that window as long as possible.
That is good.
The
That is really
watermelon-
good. I would advise listeners to really get down and try that. That is a really good beer.
Omegang, I believe they're
Oh,
out of
my.
New York.
This is Cooperstown, New York.
yeah,
the Baseball
Cooperstown.
Hall of Fame town.
And so it's
When
only
Bobby
fitting.
Witt gets inducted, we'll go.
Yeah, that's right. We have. Oh yeah.
The well,
When
and like I
when
said-
Cags gets
And him.
yeah,
And him.
he's fun to watch, isn't he?
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
yeah.
The
The
He's gonna be
Royals,
good.
the Royals are not fun to watch.
They're not.
No, they're
The
not.
Kangs is.
For as much talent as they have, they're underperforming. I think they need some more arms. But I think from
Well,
1 through 7, they're pretty good.
They scored.
here's-
They scored 1 run in 3 games at home.
here's my tinfoil
Still
hat,
winless and-
Kevy.
Let's hear it.
My
Strick.
tinfoil hat is management ownership was trying to wait on how they're going to invest their cashola to make sure that they were going to stay in place, whether they're going to move over into Missouri,
And
what
they're
the
in
better
Missouri.
deal.
Yeah.
I mean,
They're
I'm
into
saying or Kansas. I
right?
mean, and there you go. That's I think that can be part of the deal. Like you really, because you don't want to get hit with as an owner with going out here and putting your bankrolls and
Right.
at high numbers and then all of a sudden boom.
Well, and they were famous for 20-something years, 25 years of farming, having this wonderful farm talent, and they got to the point where they had to pay him, and they wouldn't. They just
Mhm.
let him go. And finally, when
Bo Jackson.
They did.
well, right, but I mean, luckily we got to see in the Alex Gordon era and the Eric Hosmers and
Mike Moustakas.
Moustakas and
Salvi,
Salvi,
yeah.
but the formula that they used, it was, well, number one, they started paying guys, and number two, if they got their starting pitcher into 5th inning with a 1-run lead, it was game
Ball
over.
HDH closed it down.
Yeah,
Those are better
and,
times.
and they just had the greatest
Better
bullpen.
times.
Well, drink to that, Jay.
Yeah, and
Cheers
and-
to 2015.
But then they had to store.
And 14.
They had to tear it all down because they couldn't afford to maintain it. So,
That's
they
correct.
actually probably are more profitable as a losing ball club than they are as a winning ball club, and that's why you don't see them try to maintain it. They strip it down and then build it back up.
Is
I
that
will
model
say-
broken, Austin?
I will just say, Strick, I think you're onto something that they're trying to put a competitive team forward for the stadium vote. I'm going to rip your tinfoil hat off and ball it up and
Boom.
just say they just suck right now.
Yeah.
There's nothing more to it.
It's
than that.
unwatchable baseball.
pretty bad.
They scored 1 run at home in a 3-game sweep of the Rays today.
They have not won a game.
That's
at
not
home
that's
in-
not good.
in
That's not fun
June.
to watch.
Wow. Awful.
And then by the time you buy a hot dog and parking and all of that to watch your home team only score 1 run, that's got to be
I mean, they
And you
allowed
know who comes to
5,
town tomorrow?
3, and 4 runs. That's it.
The Dodgers.
Ooh.
Will they score a run that series?
Is
Well, the
Ohtani
Dodgers pitching
pitching?
has been
That
Saturday.
doesn't matter.
Saturday.
It doesn't
Mhm.
matter.
I was kind of bummed. Kershaw's pitching tonight, and Otani's on Saturday. So
That's the thing
need some more
about
of these beers for
baseball,
that.
it can be
Seriously.
so counterintuitive,
can.
and
Shaky said
good
it
play
beers.
everything is contagious. Good play is contagious. 1 or 2 guys start raking, then everybody starts raking. 1 or 2 guys
Mhm.
makes an error, everybody starts making an error, and the wheels fall off. And it's just, you saw it in the College World Series with Arkansas. And that's the beauty of the game is that you don't see that as much in the pros, but it still happens, and everything within a ball club is contagious, even though it's 9 individuals out there.
What is it like? Like, there's different words for different sports. What is it like when the wheels fall off for baseball and when the wheels fall off for like football? Like, what would be the example?
it is the worst when the wheels fall off in baseball because there are 162 freaking games. You just got to sit there and take it. In the NBA, sure, it's a couple months, but Strick, you've been there in February and March. That season gets long.
Yeah.
In baseball, if you're bad in June, you got the rest of June, you got July, you got August, you got all of September to just sit and wallow in misery and wait till next year.
I'm wallowing already over here.
It's true.
I've been
Probably
wallowing
kind of
since
south.
mid-May with the Royals.
Well,
Austin's
you've been
taken-
you've been wallowing a little
I'm a
bit longer than that.
Dolphins fan.
Exactly, because of that too.
I don't know what sports happiness is besides 2015 Royals. So I just take it. That's what it is. But if I had this beer, Kevin, I could take all the wallowing ever. I'd be very, very happy.
It's called Omegon.
Omegon.
OMG.
Oak H Watermelon Kolsch from
This is
Cooperstown, New York.
What do you like about it, Kevin?
Well, I got to say 2025 has been a stellar year for watermelon so far. My wife's bought a couple of them. Pro tip from your Uncle Kev, squeeze some lime juice on the watermelon with some salt.
Whoa.
It does.
It is a game changer.
You've never had it with salt?
No.
Well, not with lime juice.
Not with salt.
Well, that gives it that
yes,
the
but lime
bitterness
juice,
turns
no.
it to sweet, which is the craziest dynamic. When you put the, I know
Chemistry.
I haven't tried it with the lime, but with the salt,
Oh,
it's a wild deal where it turns it sweet.
You just hear me out. Just squeeze a little fresh lime juice on your watermelon, add some salt, and it is a game changer. It is the snack of the summertime.
Are we like drizzling like a bottle of lime juice over it? Is there like a ratio that you need?
I
Like, how do you
I
determine
just
it?
get it on. Take your little lime press and go real lime, not just out of the little bottle, and then just kind of do it to your taste. But those watermelon pieces will soak that up, and you get the salty lime and watermelon. Oh baby, it's so good. Doesn't even need booze.
Fair enough. This is Thirsty Thursday. Myers Cork and Bottle. Kevin Meyer in here. Austin and Strick, joined by special guest Jake Sorensen of Early Break. We got a wine on tap as well. This looks like one that I would assume would be a Strick's pick. What are we sipping on here?
So this is a Syrah, which we haven't done a lot of Syrah on Thirsty Thursday. It's from a winery called Clinker Brick. We did the Zinfandel a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
And it was delicious, out of the park. It's the consummate barbecue wine. And Syrah is kind of up that alley as well because it has that peppery mid-palate flavor in it. And so it goes really, really well with anything spicy. It goes really, really well with anything off the grill. And it's just kind of a grape that is maybe a little bit forgotten. And it originates in the southeastern part of France, a place called the Rhone Valley. And has been proliferated into Australia and has become their flagship grape varietal, except for in Australia, they call it Shiraz. But Shiraz and Syrah are actually the same thing. To me, the Australian ones taste a little plasticky. They're just not my bag. A while back, they started all investing in these big rotary fermenters, which basically, if I could give a visual comparison, is like a cement truck. So it's this big cylinder that has these paddles on the inside. They drop the juice in, they drop the yeast in, and it just sits there and rotates. Well,
So it doesn't got good maceration.
Yeah,
It's a big word.
and it's just kind of a.
Ricky listens. He learned.
It's a shortcut. It's a shortcut.
It's a shortcut.
And in winemaking, there are no shortcuts. You got to do it the right way. And this is certainly done the right way. This actually comes from a specific river designation in Lodi, what's called the Mundelholm River, which is easy for me to say. But Lodi is kind of central coast near Sacramento and is home of some of the oldest vines in California, originally brought over by the Italians, but they must have brought some Syrah with them.
Syrah spelled Shiraz.
That's Shiraz.
Shiraz.
But
That's
Syrah,
right.
He said it so confidently.
the traditional Syrah is Syrah. But I love it, Strick, because if you
So
say anything with
confident.
enough confidence, people just,
That was
he must be right.
Ultimate confidence
Yeah.
right there. Oh yeah, I got this, Kev. No, you don't. Nice try.
Is it a Strick's pick?
It's a Strick's pick. It's very smooth, but it has a stay on the palate after the end. So
That's what they would call a wine's finish, Mr. Strick.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, I'm learning a new word today.
So it's a lingering
Strictionary.
finish.
Is it a Sorensen selection?
Yeah, I would drink that. I'm more of a with the wine, Cabernet and Pinot Noir. This is not one of those, but it is still very good. I like red wine versus white wine.
That's a fact.
So, being that it's red, it already is a win over white wine. I know the summertime wine is white. I still stick with the reds year round.
You know, when it's 100 degrees out, sometimes if you're out on the patio, something that's room temp isn't quite as appetizing.
Sure.
But
I understand
when you pull that really good cut of meat off the grill, like
that part.
Father's Day, I did a tri-tip.
Ooh,
Big
how'd that
grill
turn out for
guy.
you?
Oh, it turned out awesome.
Nice.
So
Find him on X.
about 2 hours at about 300, and then wrapped it in foil, and then about another 2 hours at 350, and it came out like a brisket. I was expecting it a little more steaky, but it came out like a
Wow.
brisket. And Mama dialed up some homemade chimichurri, which is flat parsley, had some jalapeno, red wine vinegar, some olive oil, some scallion, and you put that with that, and a wine like this would be just tip top.
How do you compare this to that Zin from a couple weeks ago?
I would say it's a little bit more flavor intensive, for lack of a better analogy, kind of like espresso versus latte. But I get a little bit more of the spice out of the Zinfandel. This definitely has that pepper component, but it's not as pronounced as other Syrah that I've had. But I think would still pair with a lot of the same types of things. Anything slow cooked off the smoker, any good grilled meats, a wine like this would go fantastic.
Good brat.
Jake, we haven't had you in here for
Absolutely.
Thirsty Thursday in a while.
Yes, it's nice to be here, gentlemen.
It's
Thank
nice
you
to
for the
have you,
invite.
but what are you throwing on the grill if you're grilling? What's your go-to?
Right now, hamburgers. Did this week.
Basic.
We had some steaks
Nice.
recently.
Basic.
I talked last night. We haven't ever had wings on the grill. We've never grilled wings before. We need to change that up at some point.
I did that on Saturday.
Did you? And how was it?
It's
Does
fantastic.
it come off kind of with a bake type of taste to it, not a crisp?
No, it's crisp.
Really?
I do them on the pellet grill, and then so get them nice and crisp. First, I marinate them in olive oil and
There we go.
a little bit of cider vinegar, and then just some wing sauce, some fresh cracked pepper, some salt, and then just put them on the Traeger. Go low and slow, get them nice and crisp, and then I'll take some of the sauce and heat it up, get a nice little simmer going. And then I'll saute the wings that are already cooked in the sauce, and then you lay
Getting
them out.
hungry, Kevin.
And,
Yeah, getting hungry.
It's,
We do a lot of brats, a lot of bratwurst in the summertime. Big.
You want a tip
know-
I learned for your burgers from old Uncle Jay Foreman? You
Yes.
mix
Old
it.
Uncle Jay. He will not
Old,
appreciate
yeah,
that.
old
But that's
Uncle.
okay.
Uncle Jay Foreman, he's right there. He's got the salt and pepper dome.
He
He's
does. He
you know,
knows it.
That's
You
mostly
can't hide
salt,
that,
not as
Jay.
much pepper anymore. But
the put a raw egg in your raw burger, and you mix it in real good along with your seasonings.
it's a binder.
It's a binder, and then if you want, you can. What I like to do is take, say, my whole hamburger patty. I want to divvy it in half, and I'll get that nice and flat, and take a hunk of smoked Gouda cheese and put it right in the middle, and then take my other half and seal it in there.
Wow.
And cook it with the cheese inside
Cheese
the burger.
inside the
Oh,
patty.
Yeah, it's called
Uncle
a juice.
Kevin, you
it's called
killing
a-
me.
That's,
called
that's,
a
Smalls.
that's,
juice
from Jay, that's from Foreman, though.
Yeah.
Jay said that?
Yeah.
Come
Well,
on,
Jay
Smalls.
stole
Well,
it from
I had
TikTok.
no idea that Jay
Jay-
was a culinary expert.
Oh, no.
Jay, that's all Jay watches on TikTok.
Right. Well,
Grilling
Jay,
stuff.
Jay taught me the egg thing, and then I stepped it up a notch with the smoked Gouda on the inside.
So you when the eggs in there, you just mix it all.
Mix it all together so you don't even see it anymore.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a game changer.
8438 is all about the grilled wings. So thank you for chiming in there on that. Will we have you back next week before the 4th of July, Kevin?
Indeed, you will.
Whoa.
Excellent. We will save our 4th
Love
of
it.
July conversations until then. But
And
I think-
remember, he will be at BP with DP tomorrow.
Yeah,
Come on
tune
out
in.
and watch him swing something. Pause.
do you want an audience? Do you want people out there watching?
I don't really care. I'm gonna have to tune all that out and focus.
You know, they're
and
going to have play-by-play from the broadcast booth watching you hit.
That's fine. That's
Kev
fine.
Meyer, first swing. Oh,
Here's the thing. You're talking to the guys who will be on air while this is happening.
right.
Okay.
So
Play-by-play.
I expect to get absolutely destroyed.
not by us. You bring
No,
us.
I'm
You bring us
Stricky
stuff to
shaking
drink.
his head over there. He's
So
gonna be
winning
critiquing.
MS.
critiquing
Swing,
my
bada,
swing.
bada, 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 swing.
Yeah,
That's heckling in the stands.
yeah, that's fine. I don't have any batting gloves, so I might have to bring like my work gloves.
You might
do
want to
it,
do
do
that,
it,
my boy,
do it.
because
Yeah.
yeah,
Hot
No, those
muggy.
blisters. No,
they'll pop up on you.
Yes, yes.
Give us the
indeed.
scouting report on Kevin Meyer, the baseball player.
Oh man,
Righty, lefty,
righty, dead pull hitter.
Deadpool.
It's okay.
Okay.
Dead
You're a
pull.
golfer. I get that.
Yeah. I used to play left field because I had good range, but then my eyesight got so bad I had to come in and play shortstop.
You downgraded to playing the most important position on the diamond. Poor guy.
Well, I was okay, and then I got LASIK about 15 years ago, so that was a game changer. That
Boy,
changed my life.
Me too.
And so, but I haven't played. Once my kids got old enough to start playing, I started coaching their teams, and so I just haven't played in a long time. And then when my son was playing competitive ball, I would just work with him all the time, throwing him BP, hitting infield to him, catching for him, that sort of thing. And so, but that's, like I said, he's almost 25 now, so it's been a while.
Nice.
There you have it. We will look forward to the show, The Laser Show from Kevin Meyer tomorrow. And Mrs. Kevin Meyer as well.
Yeah.
See Laser Shows. Looking forward to that. Jake, do you have some other people we can shout out who are going to be there at BP tomorrow?
Yeah, we're going to have Michael Barton from Buffalo Wings or Rings will be there. Jeremiah Tripp from Computer Hardware. And then I know that I think Steve Taylor will be there again as well. DP told me that today, and a couple others. So I look forward to seeing how all the hacks go. You're not calling you hacks. The hacks by the people.
The swings.
All the swings.
It'll be a hack.
Because I am a hack out there.
That's funny. Jake, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Jake.
Thanks for the invite.
Thanks, Uncle Kevy.
For the beers.
I appreciate you.
Kevin, as always, appreciate you.
Thank you.
We'll go to break. More On the Block right after this on 93.7 The Ticket.
Follow Austin Strick and On the Block on Twitter at Austin Orman, eStrick20, and On the Block 93.7. More of On the Block coming up.
Saturday. Eagle Raceway is open for a full season of dirt track racing action every Saturday night. Don't miss the epic battles on the high banks of Eagle Raceway each Saturday between the Nebraska Septic Sprint Cars, Nebraska Lottery Modifieds, Avid Realty Sport Mods, Valentino's Hobby Stocks, and A1 Iron Stock Cars. Let's go racing. Eagle Raceway, just 10 miles east of Lincoln on O Street. Check out the full schedule at eagleraceway.com.
Are kids better off in an intact family? You bet they are. This is Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. Kids living in a household with married parents do better in school, they're emotionally healthier, and they're more likely to stay out of trouble with the law. If you're in a troubled marriage, of course you should do everything you can to save your marriage, if only for your kids' sake. This includes considering alternatives to divorce. Of course, in some circumstances, divorce is unavoidable. In either case, if you're a man facing a crisis in your marriage, let us help you at Cordell & Cordell. Remember, we're the partner men can count on.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Contact the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln, Cordell & Cordell, 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska, 68508.
93.7 The Ticket is your home for every Kansas City Royals baseball game. Bobby Witt Jr., Salvador Perez, Vinny Pasquantino, and the rest of the Royals attempt to make the postseason for the second season in a row. And you can hear all the action on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Your home for Kansas City Royals baseball.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans, begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Cobble Chevrolet GMC, and the hail sale has been a huge success, but is winding down. We still though have several units with huge discounts. Plus, we have brand new Sierras, $14,000 off list, or starting at $37,105, or 0.9% APR on select new models. Yes, you heard right. $14,000 off or 0.9% APR on new Sierras starting at $37,105. So please check us out at cobblecars.com. All deals with roof credit, stock number G2899358.
When opportunity knocks, you don't want to miss the call. Hamilton Business Technologies makes communication easy and efficient using customized technology, all while putting people first. Whether you're working from the office, at home, or on the go, Hamilton Business Technologies equips your business with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through June 29th, get lumberjack pellets for $3.99 when you buy $25 in meat, and a 2-day sale this Friday and Saturday of USDA choice whole boneless ribeye for $13.99 per pound, as well as pork sausage for $1.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market, in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone and Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln with more exciting news for area car buyers.
Charlie, it's just announced that Honda of Lincoln has won 3 of the Lincoln Journal-Star's Lincoln Choice Awards: Best New Car Dealer, Best Auto Repair, and Best Place to Get Your Oil Changed.
Wow, that's great, Andy. Anything else?
Yes, we were runner-up for Best Pre-Owned Dealer and Best Tire Dealer. A lot of people don't understand that we do sell tires here.
Very exciting, Andy. Why do you think your dealership is winning so many awards?
Charlie, we simply say it's the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business.
Looks like Honda of Lincoln is the great news headquarters for Lincoln.
Yes, and even all of Nebraska, we are also announcing that Honda of Lincoln's the only dealer in the state of Nebraska to win the prestigious Honda President's Award for 2024.
Honda of Lincoln, Nebraska's #1 volume Honda dealer, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, partly sunny skies. The national high around 88. Tonight, a few showers early, then mainly cloudy skies, a low around 67. And tomorrow, we'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day with light winds. It'll be hot with a high near 91. I'm meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
What a thirsty Thursday. Had quite the crew in here. Big thanks to Kevin Meyer for stopping by. Even Shaky Jakey contributed.
Yeah, it was good to have Shaky Jakey stop by and, you know, have a sit. And, you know, look, Stricky is not one to normally give up a Strix pick.
Correct.
I at least, see, that shows that Stricky's got a nice heart.
Good guy, Stricky.
I'm a good
They're
guy.
your core. You're
really to the core.
Distributor.
If you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But you know.
I know. I know that you know, and you know that I know. But do they know that we know?
Do they know that we know that we know?
People are asking.
But I know that BP with DP is going down tomorrow.
True.
We're going to be in the house. I'm looking forward to that, watching that. I'm looking forward to watching that for sure.
True. Stricky, is there a player on Nebraska men's basketball's roster that you might like to hear about from Fred Hoiberg? If not, I have some suggestions.
Burke.
Okay. Let's hear from Nebraska men's basketball head coach Fred Hoiberg. Shouts to Huskers.com for this audio. Here's about 90 seconds or so on Berke Boyichenjo, his summer, and his outlook from Nebraska men's basketball head coach Fred Hoiberg.
Yeah, I mean, he's so versatile, Wilson, as you know, and you know, I feel bad for the kid because of how when he was playing his best basketball, he went down with a very unfortunate injury, not only for BK but for our team. You know, we had a really good stretch going at that time, and you know, he plays his best game as a college basketball player, and then, you know, 10 days, he really couldn't do anything. And he gets a day or two of practice, and we throw him back into the fire, and he just never regained his rhythm. So, you know, being in shape right now, I think gives him a much better opportunity to get back to that point of where he was when he got hurt in that Ohio State game. And listen, he's got size, length, defense. He had a good year defensively. He really did. Analytically, you look at it, he was our best defender, a guy that can rebound it, handle it. And, you know, I think you ask BK what he needs to do. He's just shoot it better. And he's worked very hard on that in the offseason, and he's shooting the ball well right now. Obviously, it doesn't mean anything until you get out there between the lines. But, you know, he's playing with a lot of confidence right now, and that needs to continue throughout the season, regardless of what happens. You know, BK is a very he sees everything, he hears everything, and I got to get him to quit doing that. One of the best things I did is when he stopped reading Twitter during the season, and for him, he can't do that stuff and stay consistent. And that's not just Burke, it's everybody. They all got to do that. Put those stupid devices down and not look at that stuff when negativity is going around. So, but yes, to answer your question, Wilson, BK's in a great place, and I expect a much improved year this year.
Shout out friend of the program, Wilson Moore, for that question. Strick, your reaction to hearing that from Fred Hoiberg about Bear Cable?
No, I think that's a good way to lay it out. It's also it's a good way of not giving excuse for the play, but also addressing the fact that just the fact of the matter that sometimes he's not a professional yet. He's still a young man. He's still young, and those are. There's lessons to be learned throughout the course of our livelihoods and our times. We're going to go through different ups and downs and goods and bads and smiles and sads. And, there's life. That's life be lifing. And that's just part of the growth process. And so, I like that Coach Hoiberg is really taking into account that. You can tell that they've addressed certain things with him, but, look, now what are you going to do about it? You're back healthy, like different areas of your game. How are you going to elevate that? So yeah, it's good to hear that.
Let's just get a kind of general summer update from Fred Hoiberg here. He mentions rink mast in this clip as well. Let's get an update on number 51 for the Big Red.
Big emphasis right now is with Kurt Joseph in the weight room and making sure that their bodies are built up where they can handle the type of load that we're going to throw at them. We did a lot of skill work the first week and a half. We have started going a little bit live at the end of practice just to get some things on film and what we need to correct. We're putting an edit for these guys every day on their computers that they can watch, and they've been really good about that as well. So, it's been a fun group to be around to this point. Obviously, we have not hit any adversity yet. There's been great enthusiasm with them, and the thing that I think we've really addressed with this team is our shooting. When we played live, our guys aren't hesitating. They're making the extra play. They're playing very unselfishly, and I've been really impressed with that aspect. I think it's going to be a team that's really fun to coach as we continue along. Give a quick update on Rink. He has been on the court doing individual workouts. He's up to 4 days a week now, and essentially he's putting the same load on his body as all the other guys that are out there working on the court together. He will be reintegrated into practice next week with the team in all the non-contact drills. He's still not ready for full contact. He actually might be ready, but we are not ready for him to be in that setting yet. He's doing awesome, exactly where he's supposed to be, but we're still going to be very cautious and very careful with him. Only other thing we're dealing with right now, Jamarcus tweaked his ankle a little bit at the end of practice yesterday, but it's nothing serious.
When you hear that from Fred Hoiberg about how they're handling rink mast, he's in June right now, late June, almost July. Season really gets going in earnest late September, early October with games in November. What do you make about that from Fred Hoiberg?
No, I think they're handling it in the right way. I know Kurt Joseph, we've had him here on the show as well at one point in time, and I think we'll get him back again to talk a little bit more in depth about that. And what I like about what he's saying, he's talking about the off court work, the work that you're going to put in so that you can sustain and be ready physically for what's coming up. And it's next level elevation of your game, which is going to require you to put in that extra conditioning, that extra weight, that strength that you're going to need if you don't, in order to get off to the kind of start that you want to get off to, the play, the style that you want to play. And it's good to hear that Rink is on target, and he's got a little extra time, obviously a whole year now plus. And so I can tell you, and I can assure that Rink is working on aspects of his game to, now that people haven't seen him, they're going to get Jay-Z had a song, "Let me reintroduce myself.
Allow
my name
me
is
to
Rink."
Reintroduce myself. My name.
Yeah, so it's going to be a reintroduction of Rink and what he brings to the team, because people may have forgot. that the style that Nebraska played with Rink is significantly different than what's on film for what they did last year. And so there's going to be an adjustment period for a lot of teams, but I think the start of the year is going to get him ready.
We'll certainly wait and see on that. There was a lot talked about rink mass from Fred Hoiberg. Connor Segan was asked about it as well. And that last clip was actually the first answer that Fred Hoiberg ended up giving. He was tipped off or heard that there were some questions about rink mass, so he addressed it up front instead of waiting for too many questions. Stricky, guards. More of my questions about Nebraska, I don't know about you, come in the backcourt. Let's go ahead and hear about Kendall Blue, the transfer from St. Thomas. Here's what Fred Hoiberg said about how he's adapted to Nebraska and what he might bring to the table for the Big Red.
Yeah, the thing that stands out with Kendall is the size, and a guy that will play the point guard position for us at 6'6". I think he and Jamarcus will play well together at times out there as well. But what I've seen with Kendall is his ability to get the ball into the pocket. Shot 42% from three a year ago, and just his overall length will open up a lot of things for us. I think you can post him some when he's got a smaller defender on him, just with that length. But I've really been impressed with Kendall's feel. He's a smart kid, a high IQ guy, and you have to have that at the position that he's playing.
He said two words in there, Stricky. One position, point guard. How do you take that?
So, to me, it looks as if Fred, Coach Hoiberg, and their staff has found an archetype of the type of player they're looking. Now, this goes even back. This is not just recent. This goes back even to Bandemel and Griesel, Banton, right? This goes back. So it reminds you of he's trying to create these different. And to me, what I was going to say is he a more reserved style of play than Tanji? Size. Tanji's more an aggressive, slashing, attacking,
force the issue
type of guy. He's kind of a get to the pocket,
a feel kind of guy.
Right. And so to me, it's Bryce in a way, Griesel with more. It's like he's continuously adding pieces and taking parts of what they were and finding guys that could do what they do, but really it's comfortable for them. Like at first it was uncomfortable. It took Bryce some time to adjust to it all. And then once he got it, it was a good thing. And then it had to be done.
I don't think it was a great thing.
Yeah, it was a workable thing. It was actually a necessary thing at the time, unfortunately. But it's more of a fit now with the way that they're trying to set up Blue. And so, it seems that they found how they're going to acquire that archetype of player.
I still don't love it. If Kendall Blue's best trait is scoring, I would really love it if Nebraska could develop a point guard instead of try to turn a guy into one, right?
Well, they saw it didn't work. They saw it didn't work with what they tried. But again, it's a miss.
And
with Worcester.
Right. The flip side of that is if Kendall Blue's best trait, right, and you go back through the list, unfortunately. But if Kendall Blue's best trait is feel, if it's understanding the game, then maybe he's a more natural, fit in terms of temperament for the point guard position. And maybe this one will work out a little bit better.
I think it'll allow Jamarcus to be more free. Go ahead. Talk to me.
Keep bring that in. Let's hear about what Fred Hoiberg had to say about Jamarcus Lawrence and his return to Nebraska.
Yeah, just leadership, coachability, everything that you want out of your lead guard. He's been very vocal, which that was something that he had to work on. When he first got here, he was a very quiet kid, but he has really grown in that area, and you have to have that. Our point guard, they're an extension of the coach over there, and I've been impressed with he and Kendall in that role. And Kale certainly is a guy that can play minutes for us at the point. Sam is getting some reps out there as well. And then again, our bigs, the other thing, with our bigs, not only ability to shoot, but I really think that they all have the ability to play make. You saw what Rink did for us a couple of years ago as a guy that initiated offense for us. But I've seen same thing out of Oogie, and Jared certainly has that ability. BK who's in really good shape right now. I was really impressed with the way that he came in. And then Leo Curtis, may be the surprise for all of us so far in what he has shown. He's an unbelievable basketball IQ, really skilled, has a great touch, can really shoot the ball. Still got to grow. Body needs to get more mature, and I think we all knew that coming in. But what he has shown with his skill set, we're really happy.
That was a wide-ranging answer there, Strick. I think at the start of it, you heard the four guys that are getting point guard reps right now. Kendall Blue, like Hoiberg said. DeMarcus Lawrence makes sense. Sam Hoiberg, Cale Jacobson. But then that answer continued into a lot of front court ball handlers and playmakers for Nebraska as well.
Yeah, it did. And so the question I'll throw back to you then, Austin, is this. Do you feel that they've done a good job of roster construction even after losing specific pieces like Janowski, for example, and you feel that they've done a good job of the construction of this team to put together a winner?
I think it's more of what they want to do and what they're going for, even if it's not the way I would build the roster, if that makes sense. It looks a lot like 23-24 to me in a lot of ways, that team. Where if you ask me right now, who do I think the starting lineup for Nebraska would be? I would go probably Kendall Blue at the 1. You heard very early in that last clip from Fred Hoiberg, DeMarcus Lawrence as the lead guard. I think he's probably the starting 2 if things started today. They're really high on Price Sanford. I think he would be the starting small forward, then probably Bear K at the 4 and Rink at the 5. That's a lot of skill.
Yeah.
That's more shooting than last year. That's 5 guys, 4.5, 5 guys that Nebraska would feel comfortable with bringing the ball up the court and initiating offense. Is it the way I would draw it up ideally in terms of role distribution? No, I'd rather DeMarcus Lawrence handle the ball a lot more. Unless Kendall Blue is a point guard by nature. He's just a big one, and then we'll see. But then if DeMarcus Lawrence isn't going to handle the ball, he's got to average 15 points a game and shoot 37+% from 3. Maybe he's capable of that. Maybe he's not. But I do think this roster fits together, especially in the backcourt a lot more, where there's enough overlap that you can really double down on a strength when you need it situationally. But also if a guy doesn't have it that night, or you need different skills, right? If you need size, you can throw Kendall Blue in there. If you need scoring, you can play him and Jamarcus together. If you need defense, you can have the 2 quick ball handlers and Sam Hoiberg and Jamarcus Lawrence.
And maybe even move Blue to the 3
Blue
and
to the 3.
Jamarcus with Hoiberg as well.
1 and 2.
Yeah.
Right. I think there are
I even think Cale is a good defender as well for the most part.
Right. No, I tend to agree. Yeah. So I think there are a lot more workable combinations for Nebraska, both offensively and defensively. I'm still a little bit worried if Nebraska runs into a Terrence Shannon Jr. or a Wade Taylor type. How is Nebraska going to stay in front of them? I don't think it happens. And I think that could be a kryptonite for this team. But I do think this team makes a lot more sense this year than it did last year.
Well said. Well said. I think I have to agree with you. The next question then would be, did they address depth situation? And do you feel that Coach Hoiberg learned some lessons from last year in being able to manage that part of the system and not become a Tom Thibodeau 3.0?
I don't remember which answer it was, and I wish I did, because he talked about the depth, how he thinks he's going to have a lot of tough decisions to make during games. And we've had this conversation from time to time here, Strick. Depth is both a blessing and a curse, mostly a blessing, occasionally a curse, because you're not going to play 10 guys if you get to where Nebraska wants to go in late March and early April. It's just not going to, or I guess early March to mid-March for this program right now. It's just not going to, you're not going to play 10 guys. You're going to have 7 maybe, and then the 8th guy that you throw in there just in case. But you do need depth to get through the grind of a regular season. You're right, especially in a conference like the Big Ten. That, I go back to this, was historically good last year, but overshadowed by how historically good the SEC was. A lot of guys still have a lot to prove. A lot of guys still have to live up to where this coaching staff thinks they can be. One guy they're really high on is Braden Frager after his redshirt year. The guy that they said multiple times they thought about yanking that redshirt, putting him in there. He's got a lot to prove. He hasn't done anything in Nebraska yet. I'm not as sold on Braden Frager as they are. but he's going to be a rotation piece for them early on. Jared Garcia, kind of an afterthought in the transfer portal. Seems like a high floor, low ceiling guy that this staff likes. Veteran presence, defense, rebounding. He'll probably play. Really, then it comes down to, what's the rotation at that 4 and the 5? How many minutes does Berkay get there? How many minutes does Oogie?
And can Berkay shift over when Rink is getting rest?
I don't think. I think that's why they got Oogie to play him there instead of Berkay, so he can maybe hone in on the 4.
Stay in there.
But there are games where it would be nice to have Berkay at the 5. If Rink and Oogie are getting played off the floor, if Berkay can hang for 4 minutes, for one media timeout at the 5 to give Nebraska something different, that would give you, dare I say, Strick, shades of like that 2017-18 Nebraska team where Isaac Copeland would play the 5 for Nebraska at times on offense, and it would be Isaiah Roby on defense. I don't think Nebraska has an Isaiah Roby caliber switchable rim protector on the roster right now. I guess we'll have to see. And the guards, right? If Nebraska has to play all 4 of those guys they mentioned at the point, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Love Sam Hoiberg, love Cale Jacobson for who they are and what they've done. But if Nebraska is going to be at its best, those guys are situational spot minute guys where they're getting 20 minutes between them, not 20 minutes apiece.
Yeah.
DeMarcus Lawrence has to be as advertised.
Yeah.
Kendall Blue has to be as advertised. And you've got to find room for Sam Hoiberg as a spark plug and for Cale Jacobson.
Or a defensive stopper.
Right, because he's fit into that conversation. He forced his way into that. But Essegian's going to play a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
That's a guy that they're really high on at the 2. So then is he a starter? Is he still that bench guy?
Well, he's a defensive liability. So that's the part is how are you going to mask it? What type of defense? Because you're not going to be able to play Essegian on what your thought was on a Terrence Shannon type of guy. It's not going to happen.
And this might be a conversation that, since we're up against the clock, we have to carry over. Depth can be an identity, but you can also set your identity by limiting your own depth. This is who we want to be. These are the guys we want to play. And if they don't have it one night, then we can pivot. But we don't have to force feed all these guys minutes because we feel obligated to. So let's maybe pick up on that. We have some text coming in on our Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. Keep them coming. We'll wrap up with some Nebraska men's basketball talk after this.
Download our app by searching for 93.7 The Ticket in your app store to stay in touch and listen all day wherever you are. More of On the Block next on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with Taco Night on Mondays or Whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Several irrigation contractors in Lincoln go out of business every year, leaving sprinkler system orphans, begging for service. The folks at Judson Irrigation shed a tear for these little fellas. They've been coddling these orphans for more than 40 years. From redesign, repairing, replacing, and restoring, remember the Judson Irrigation Orphanage.
Call the Judson Irrigation Orphanage, 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a chance of showers and storms. Otherwise, partly sunny skies, an afternoon high around 88. Tonight, a few showers early, then mainly cloudy skies, a low around 67. And tomorrow, we'll see decreasing clouds throughout the day with light winds. It'll be hot with a high near 91. I'm meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 The Ticket. And theticketfm.com.
Don't wait for Lincoln's fireworks stands to open up. Get the good stuff at Roca Crazy Cracker in downtown Roca. Stop in from June 25th through July 4th for the hot spot for rockets and more this Independence Day. Open 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day. It's Roca Crazy Cracker Fireworks in downtown Roca.
Are kids better off in an intact family? You bet they are. This is Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. Kids living in a household with married parents do better in school, they're emotionally healthier, and they're more likely to stay out of trouble with the law. If you're in a troubled marriage, of course you should do everything you can to save your marriage, if only for your kids' sake. This includes considering alternatives to divorce. Of course, in some circumstances, divorce is unavoidable. In either case, if you're a man facing a crisis in your marriage, let us help you at Cordell & Cordell. Remember, we're the partner men can count on.
The attorneys at Cordell & Cordell work to help men maximize their role in their children's lives. Contact the domestic litigation firm of Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Lincoln area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Office in downtown Lincoln, Cordell & Cordell, 1221 N Street, Suite 801, Lincoln, Nebraska, 68508.
Take control of your health with the DASH scan at Advanced Medical Imaging. The DASH scan is a full-body MRI designed for advanced health screening. This dynamic approach provides exceptionally sharp images across multiple organ systems, helping to detect potential concerns early. With minimal radiation and no invasive procedures, the DASH scan offers a safe, comprehensive look at your health. Plus, results are delivered faster than ever, giving both patients and physicians confidence in screening and diagnosis. Your health is too important to wait. Schedule your DASH scan today at Advanced Medical Imaging. Visit amimaging.com or call 402-484-6677 to learn more.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
When opportunity knocks, you don't want to miss the call. Hamilton Business Technologies makes communication easy and efficient using customized technology, all while putting people first. Whether you're working from the office, at home, or on the go, Hamilton Business Technologies equips your business with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. Hamilton Business Technologies. Real people, real technology solutions. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Hey guys, you have heard about the Farrell's 10-Week Challenge for years on the ticket. If you still haven't joined us for this amazing challenge, what are you waiting for? You could be our next $1,000 winner like Derek, who just lost 30 pounds, 23 inches, and 8% body fat. Derek changed his life in the 10-Week Challenge, and so can you. Farrell's combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching to get you the results you have been waiting for. Join us July 12th for the Summer 10-Week Challenge. Go to fxblincoln.com to enroll today.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Now back to On the Block with Eric Strickland, Jay Foreman, and Austin Orman.
Welcome back into On the Block one final time.
Oh,
Rick and Austin.
Final time
watch
for me.
Watch yourself.
The struggle bus is real.
In the best of ways.
In a good way.
We are joined in our final segment by
Uptown.
Elena from the Upside Bar and Lounge. Elena, welcome in.
On a Thursday. It's
On a
another
Thursday.
Friday.
Indeed.
A little early.
We are
Sipping and tipping on a Thursday.
not mad about it at all. We're at BP with DP tomorrow, so we're bringing in the Upside here on a Thursday. How's summer going?
Pretty good. I think always slows down a little bit on the south side, but it's sales are up from the year before. That's all I look for.
That's it.
So.
Very nice.
Yeah, improvement.
Yep. New faces all the time, and it's been really good.
Excellent. We love the returning faces. We love the new faces too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you guys should go out there. It really is a nice, it depends on if you just want to go and sit at the bar, if you want to go and sit in the back, if you want to bring a group, it's actually really, it fits. If you want to sit on the freaking balcony, the front, the porch or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what you guys call it, but It really is. It gives you a little bit of everything. If the weather's nice, you can sit outside. If you want to go hang out with a big group, you can go in the back. I like it. It's a nice little vibe.
It's been good. Yeah, we've had a lot of regulars over the years, and just slowly just keep building it. So yeah.
What is it? What is it? What is the thing that they really like that you've heard? Do you guys do any type of surveying? Like, what are some of the things that they talk about? Is it the friendly faces? Is it obviously the drinks are amazing. What are some of the things that you hear from your customer base about what they love about Upside?
I would say what I hear the most is just that people come in and like maybe the second time they come, we're already remembering their drinks, their names. They just feel like they're a regular already.
Yeah.
And it's like it's their bar. Like whatever it is, whether they're a karaoke person, a dart playing person,
Yeah.
just a chill person, somebody that comes in after work just to have a couple drinks, it's whatever you want it to be. It's just for everybody, all ages, it's an everybody kind of bar.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You did bring a couple things for
Yeah,
us to try.
talk to
What
us.
are we starting with here?
Let's
I'm all ready.
start with the
The
Moscow
short
Mule.
strawberry
The strawberry joint?
Yeah, strawberry lemonade Moscow Mule.
Oh,
Got
come
me.
on,
Got me for a
somebody.
second there.
My
Okay. Oh, boy.
goodness. Oh,
Trouble.
oh.
Capital T.
And it's good. So, okay. So, you know how when it's nice and warm and it's humidity outside, you sometimes will go get you a nice hot tea or a nice lemonade. This on the other side, if you're capable and able with a ID that says 21 on it, this is a refreshing type of drink. It's really good. It's smooth, and I love the kind of tart, but not sweet. It's a good balance.
Not too sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ginger beer is nice and refreshing, and so yeah. It's we actually
Wow.
usually we do a spring
Wow.
and summer menu, and this time the spring menu kind of fit to the summer, so we just kind of kept it because the
I'm glad you
bartenders,
kept that. That's
love,
incredible.
They love when I just throw new recipes every couple months at them, so I decided to give them a little break.
Do you put them on the menu, or do you write them on a chalkboard, or what is it that? How do you display it? Because you guys need to go out there and check this out. This is phenomenal. Go ahead.
No, I type up a menu every single time.
Wow.
And I print them off and I laminate them, and so it's a little bit of work, but so it was actually a break for them and me. Like I didn't have to come up with 10 new recipes, and they kind of already memorized the drinks a little bit. So
What we got next?
this one is from the Buzz Bowl Club, and we tried a few of those. This one is the
Wait, pause. Tell our listeners what the Buzz Bowl is.
So Buzz Balls, if anybody's heard of them, they used to taste
Pause,
awful.
by the way.
They used to taste awful, and now they actually taste good. So we did a menu with them on it, and you can get a whole bowl that's got a couple Buzz Balls in them. They're very strong, so we limit of 2. Or you can get it in a pint glass. This one, hang on, I had to take a picture of the
Peach of some sort, maybe?
Yeah, what's that? What we got going in there?
Chili Mango Tango Buzz Ball.
Mm.
Well,
Okay,
that's
yeah,
what
mango,
we call it.
I can take. Okay.
A little, I get the little chili.
Get a little chili on it.
hit,
Just
yeah.
a little hit. Not overwhelming. Not that
it's
back
not
of.
too spicy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But enough.
So
It's
just a
enough.
little
You get it.
Tingle of a heat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like spicy stuff, you could still drink it.
Yeah.
I think,
Because what's that stuff they put, not the salt or the sugar, but like on some margaritas, the spicy
Oh, the
stuff.
tahini.
Tahini.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
that
there's
vibe.
tahini
Yeah.
candies in there at the bottom.
Oh.
So you might definitely be getting some tahini. with
That
it.
makes sense.
Yep.
That makes sense.
So yeah, once you get to those, there's a treat at the bottom for you.
Are they chewy or are they hard candy?
Gummies. Yeah.
Gummies.
Yep.
Whew. I'm going in on it.
Yep. So you got to get all the way to the bottom.
Got to get to the bottom. Got to get to the bottom. Good
Which
stuff.
we highly recommend. Remind people, and then we talk about the familiar faces that come to the Upside, but for people who maybe haven't experienced the Upside, what are your selling points for people?
So we have a lot of parking first off on 27th
Lot
and
of
Pine Lake, so easy to get to. And we've got Keno and darts, and we have some games. We're gonna play board games. I think my favorite thing though is that we're open till 2 a.m. every night, so you don't have to question. Like we are open until the bars say we can't be open, so so we legally can't be. So yeah, it's great. I think that kind of helps, so people aren't like what's the hours again, and we don't change our hours really. So just always 2 a.m.
And your Lincoln's home for UFC.
Yep, which is this Saturday. And so we're excited. Hopefully it's a good fight. So
Ought to be. We will get out of here. Step out of here. Jay Foreman is pounding on my door, metaphorically speaking, with a text. He wants us to get to old school. Fine, Jay. We'll let up. Elena, thanks a ton for coming.
No,
in.
he's
Thanks for
mad
the
because he's
drinks.
missing that part.
Hey,
He's mad. He's missing that.
no kidding. Thanks a ton, Elena, as always. Check out the Upside at 27th and Pine Lake. He's Strick. I'm Austin. We're getting out of here. Old school. Me and Jay right after this on The Ticket.